Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and or the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered through the courtesy of the universe through the language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. So we're beginning with the underlying energy. From the bottom of the deck, we do have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor, delivering a cup of love. So this can be someone asking you out for a date or a proposal. It quite often indicates that someone wants to take a relationship to the next level. So quite often it is a marriage proposal. And the knights would work for the king and queen, delivering messages far and wide throughout the kingdoms. And this energy is representing some form of communication or information coming in. Now, in the old days, the knight would always be a male because that's how it was. And, the only form of long distance communication would be in person and by horse or camel or depending on where you live. So these days we have so many different ways of communicating that these days it could be in person, but it's also likely to be a phone call, a text message, maybe you could get an email or something in the mail. You might be on social media and see a message from someone there, or maybe you see an event posted, you attend it, and you meet someone in person. So this energy, also a good idea is to take a look, even for a few minutes every day, what's going on at the top of the pyramid, because whatever is going on with the leaders of the countries and that type of energy, trendsetters, etc., that is going to have a direct effect on everybody below at some level or another. So you might get some valuable information that way. We have the Page of Cups coming out. So this is interesting. The Page of Cups is representing a younger Knight of Cups. The pages would work for the king and queen from a young age, and their main task would be to deliver messages within the palace walls, maybe small tasks. And this energy is talking about they would be around 7 to 14 and come from the families around the area that were upper middle class, etc. Aristocrats, some more educated families. You have to remember back then, the life expectancy was like about half of what it is now. So people worked early, and they would work for the king and queen, and they would just deliver messages within the palace walls and run small errands, etc. And then when they were 21, if they were, still there and they were doing a good job, they might be considered for knighthood as long as they could afford a horse. So this Page of Cups is the same person as the Knight of Cups grown up now. So the Page of Cups is representing someone has their eye on you. He recognizes there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he has his eye on this cup of love here. And this energy is saying maybe someone has their eye on you, wants to ask you out for a date, and then eventually it will be taken to the next level. All right. And, we have this card, which is being left out in the cold. So sometimes this card can represent an energy of there's something fishy in your love life and something stinks. So we'll have to see, because this card here represents being left out in the cold, being isolated from society. We have someone here on crutches and he's wearing the plague bell. The plague bell, back in those days, they didn't have apps to isolate people from society. So they would tie a big bell around their neck and force them to wear it so that people could hear them when they came into town and run in the other direction so that they wouldn't catch what they had. So of course, that would make it very challenging to, get a job or, get groceries, that sort of thing. So, and we have, he's with this other person who's barefoot in the snow. There's only 5 pentacles here. Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And, of course, money is a big part of that. So the pentacles are represented by coin. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. So this energy is talking about, like, between them, they don't even have half the money to live the lifestyle, a decent lifestyle. So these people have been left out in the cold for whatever reasons. Quite often this can represent an energy of tactics having been used to put them there. Now the tactics are, they could be coming from the outside world, like from the economy, different things that are happening in the external forces. And also, that it could be a little bit closer to home also. So this could be people, putting them in this situation by ruining their reputations, gang stalking, hidden cameras. There's all sorts of things that can be done to ruin someone's reputation if you put your mind to it, I guess. And so this energy is talking about that type of energy. And, anyone can handle a flake or two, but when the snow starts piling up, it can really collapse the roof of your house. And here we have an energy of the Wheel of Fortune. So this is saying if you're in this position, there's, that you're feeling left out in the cold. Sometimes this could just represent feeling left out in the cold because a lover broke up with you. Maybe they were having a side relationship, or they were in it maybe for your pentacles and then found out you didn't have any. It could have been something like that. This is the Wheel of Fortune here is turning though in your favor now. So it means your fortune is changing. So that's really good news. This is actually the past, the present, and the future coming together. And the Wheel of Fortune actually represents 3 wheels, not one. And on the one wheel, though, we do have the Hebrew letters for the name of God. And that is a tetragrammaton. And the tetragrammaton is a sacred geometric symbol that represents unity and balance and perfection, like absolute order. And in geometria, that's when they assign a numerical value to letters. And when they took the letters of from the Hebrew language and they assigned numbers to them, they all added up to very similar to the phi ratio. And so which is 1.618, and this is what is referred to as the golden spiral or the golden ratio. The golden spiral, for instance, is it basically both the golden spiral and the golden ratio are like rectangular boxes that fit into each other, and they nest one in the next one, and they follow that ratio, and that energy is the phi ratio. And when they are put together, they form a specific pattern. And you can see, like in the golden spiral, you can see this pattern in tornadoes and hurricanes, seashells. You can see it in pine cones, pineapples, cone flowers, beehives even. It's like a specific order, and it creates this spiral energy. According to size as well. Like they could be different sizes, but it always comes back to that ratio. And then we have the golden ratio, and that is, for instance, the perfection of how the human face is put together. We have like the distance from the top of the hairline down to the eyebrows, and the eyebrows down to the bottom of the nose, and then the nose down to the chin. And those are always of a similar proportion. Of course, they're slightly different in people, and also from left to right and right to left. And so this ratio is also follows the 5 ratio. And then we have the head, the upper body and the lower body, and then you can even take that further to the upper limbs, to the lower limbs, hands, feet, fingers and toes. You know, in people there's slight variations, but they're very similar. And you'll see it in animals, like in flowers, even trees, the way the branches grow, and you know, are on each branch, the order that it happens. So it's really, when I found that out, I was like, wow, that's really amazing, because you know, sometimes the world, it just feels like it's so chaotic and there's no order to it at all. And then if you go for a walk in nature, you can see this everywhere. Like once you see it, then you can't unsee it. And it's like, wow, there is actually order. And so on those days when it's like so chaotic and you're wondering if you'll ever have peace in your life again, or order in your life again, you can look around you on a walk, and by the time you come back, you're feeling a lot better. So this is also talking about being on a new cycle. So I do feel that this out in the cold energy, when the Wheel of Fortune turns, that you're going to be on a new cycle. And the Fool starts at the 0 point. When he gets to the card number 21, which is the World card, it means that he has learned everything he can from this cycle, and it's time to begin another one. You know, some people might only go through one cycle in their life, but more often it's more than one, and sometimes it can be several. He has tattered sleeves because it's not like when you start a new cycle that you're starting from the zero point, if that makes sense. You're taking what you learned from the other cycles with you so that you can improve your performance in the next cycle. This is talking about a lot of opportunities coming up when this cycle ends and you move into this new energy. So this will be taken care of one way or another. And again, these are cups, but these are gifts. There's a gift in each of these cups. Each of these is an opportunity. Now, quite often, opportunities will present themselves as challenges. So you are like a black hole, just, you know, sucking in all this energy of opportunity. Having said that, just like a black hole, you're going to, you're the center of your universe. So you are going to have to put your own spin on this. You have to decide, okay, which of these cups do I want to work with, and or how many do I want to work with, and how am I going to do it? And so they're quite often, the more challenging that the cup seems to be, the more possibilities held within it. And then we have the Page of Wands. So of course this gives you a totally new, enthusiastic viewpoint on life when all these opportunities present themselves. And the Page of Wands represents that energy. This is the very youthful energy. You know, this page, his element is the wand, and this represents passion. And so it's made of wood, and wood feeds fire. It's the element of fire. Also, this is like from a tree, so it represents the deep roots of the ancestors, as well as the offshoots, which represent the descendants. So this is someone who is, you know, really enthusiastic about life, optimistic. He's young, and he's, you know, wants to see the world, and that's what the pyramids here represent, is wanting to see the wonders of the world and explore the mysteries of the universe so that he can, you know, gain knowledge on his journey. And so this energy, it also represents some sort of communication coming through. So, you know, after this communication came through about love, so, you know, you may now also on this new cycle meet this person that wants to deliver you a cup of love, unless you're the person that wants to deliver a cup of love now, because you have all this youthful exuberance. You could be 80 and be in this energy, So it's that type of energy where it's just like talking about the enthusiasm and the passion. The one thing you have to be careful of with the Page of Wands is, you know, as you can see, he really, really admires his wand, and he is very, very looking up to it and very focused on it. So quite often he's thinking with his little head instead of his big head. So you sometimes have to take what he has to say with a grain of salt. And then we have a Tower coming in. So I do feel that when you start this new journey, this Tower is going to hit, and some, you know, the Tower kind of has a bad rap because a lot of people, like, I mean, it looks so scary, and nobody, like, towers are very uncomfortable. It's basically when the universe has been whispering to you, you know, you might want to take a look at that, and you don't. So then the universe says, hey, whack over the head with the frying pan. And you're like, geez, that hurt. What are you doing that for? And the universe is like, you need to pay attention to, there's something going on, you need to pay attention to it. And you say, okay, I will next week, but you don't. And then whack, the 2x4 comes out. And it's like, that doesn't work. So then lightning has to hit the turret of your castle, and next thing you know, you're falling out of it and you're homeless. You have nowhere to be because it's on fire. And one of the people falling out of it is in shock, and the other one is saying, oh, I should have taken care of this sooner. I knew I should take care of it, that kind of energy. So sometimes though, if you're on the up and up, and you're on this new journey and the Wheel of Fortune is in your favor, the Tower can bring around that sudden change that allows you to move forward in a real strong way. And let's see what's going on. We have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups energy, you know, this is really interesting because I feel like this is now talking about the energy of the people that put you in isolation, or, you know, we're behind the scenes, the gossip and the slander and that type of energy. This Tower is hitting them in a real, like, the stinky energy. This Tower for them is extremely challenging. And we have, like, they've celebrated too soon here. We have 3 people and they're celebrating something, and I think, and it feels like they're celebrating you being in this position. And perhaps they did their best to put you there. It's that type of energy. I try to keep looking at this as a real celebration, but when you look at it, no one's looking at, they're toasting, but no one's looking at each other, and they're looking at the cups. So, you know, the cups are, if this is romantic love, why is there 3 people? And no one's looking at each other. So they're not celebrating each other, they're celebrating something that's happened. And quite often, if there's like something stinky going on in your love relationship, and let's say that there's a third party energy, quite often I find this card inevitably shows up with, you know, in that type of position where one of them could be the third party. And this can also talk about people gossiping and slander and making fun of the situation. And this can actually be people that are in your inner circle, you know, and family, friends that didn't tell you what was going on, and they heard about it, but they didn't tell you. Or maybe they told you and you wouldn't listen. It's that type of energy. In any case, when in many cultures, when you toast someone, they have a very deep superstitious, like particularly in Europe, that if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, that you get 7 years bad luck in your romantic love life, and so do they. And so if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, they'll freak out on you and like, look me in the eye. And so, yeah, we'll see. This celebration, I feel, was to put you here. But what they didn't realize, they were like, okay, this was maybe the final step. They did something. Perhaps they were out howling at the new moon or the full moon, and they thought that they had created a situation where now you were going to be really down, but they celebrated too soon. And look we have the King of Wands here. So the King of Wands is looking right at them. And I feel like this might be the energy if you're the person that's being asked out. I feel like this King of Wands energy could be the person that's asking you out. The King of Wands is the sexiest king of the four, considered to be of the four kings in the minor arcana, and he's very passionate. He is, he's a forward thinker. He really looks into the future and is a visionary. This is someone who really has a lot of enthusiasm for life, very much the same energy as this. And the salamander here, and the salamander's in a circle here with the smoke, or with the lion there, represent protection from fire, because that's his element. And so the king is very charismatic, and he's like someone that, a lot of people really enjoy his company because he's got a good sense of humor, and he's adventurous, and he has good stories to tell, successful and intelligent, that type of energy. I noted, like, on the face cards, you notice that this page is wearing this tunic that's yellow like this. And the salamanders in a circle with the lion represent protection from fire for him also. But with the king, I noticed that there's like almost a face on the back of his throne here. There's two eyes and a mustache with smoke coming out of the nose and the mouth. And I feel like that could just mean, well, he's smoking hot, because he is. Or it can represent where there's smoke, there's fire. So the thing about the King of Wands is that he's usually takes the longest to mature, like to settle down. And so his love of new adventure and being a visionary tends to bleed into his romantic life as well. So sometimes he can be a bit of someone who plays the field, but once he settles down, then he settles down. He would, out of the four kings, he would be the last to settle down. And then we have the Emperor energy. So the Emperor, it has the qualities of all four kings rolled into one person. So this Emperor energy is an authority figure. Maybe there's some sort of energy here where the Page of Wands has talked to the King of Wands, and then the King of Wands has spoken to the Emperor type of energy to look into this energy, like what was going on here, to clean it up. And that could be the person that comes in with this new offer of love, and also to come in and help you, because the cups of love don't necessarily, even if it's romantic, it can also be about something you love to do or be. And clearly you've been in a position where that's been hindered, and now all these opportunities are coming in after this king comes into the picture. The Emperor energy can represent like ultimate authority. He's the alpha male. He's got his armor on underneath his robe here, and he is all about performance, so he is ready for any opportunity to get up, and he's ready. He's got his armor on. He's considered to be very wise. A lot of people go to him for advice. Now, it's been interesting because as I'm doing this reading right now, there's an Emperor energy that keeps coming up that is not upright, and so he's involved in the mess. I'm hoping now that that part of my readings is over, because I hate to think of the Emperor like, this is generally a mentor or someone you look up to, but shift happens, and it's possible that this energy could be responsible for this energy, or it could be responsible for cleaning it up. So going from the bottom here, if you look at why you ended up in this energy, I feel it's like there's something fishy going on in your love life. It stinked. Eventually a tower hit, and it hit them really, really hard. It hit you too. Towers are never comfortable for anyone, but it hit you because you ended up, because of some energy here, you ended up, your reputation, being isolated from society and feeling left out in the cold, like with no one to empower you. This energy here is talking about a lot of gossip and slander and that type of energy. And hopefully the Emperor is representing, okay, now it's going to get cleaned up. But if he's not in the upright, it could mean he was part of it. Now, coming from this side, you're on a new journey, and all these opportunities come up when this King of Cups offers you a love, and he goes to the Emperor, and he the Emperor helps him clean up this mess so that you end up having all these opportunities come in. So isn't that interesting? So, and this is like that, you know, the two different ways, this side or this side. I like this side better. How about you? All right. If this is where you're leaving the reading, you okay, see, okay, I get it. Then I do hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a like and comment, please, if you have. It really does help me build my channel. I appreciate it. And I'm going to clarify now for those of you who want further clarification, you brave souls. It's a pretty good reading as it is now, but let's clarify. All right, I'm going to use my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, that I started working on in 2007. And I'm an artist. In 2020, I did complete all the paintings for this Oracle. There's 64 of them. And I now am getting ready to bring this out, but I want to play with it a little bit, like, and put it into action, because you may have noticed that sometimes what is written is not necessarily how it works in real life. So it looks good on paper, but it doesn't work out when you put it into action. I do have quite a bit of information written down, and I do have a gallery in my website, talesfromthevector.com. These numbers represent the numbers that of the paintings in my gallery, so you can check it out there if you want. They say a picture paints 1,000 words, so maybe this will give us further clarity if we don't get what we want here. But it's basically saying the major transition comes in with this energy of being offered a new cup of love, and then you can anticipate being on a foolhardy journey. So that means like your heart is in it, you're on your destined path, so you can anticipate good things happening. And look at this, the Wheel of Fortune is right on the Wheel of Fortune. So there, this energy here, the Hangman, basically hangs from the Tree of Knowledge. And he hangs upside down so that he can get a different perspective. And then, you know, when his aura lights up, then he's like, okay, I'm ready to go. Now I know what I'm going to do. And it's about making sure you're balanced before you move forward. In my oracle, this is a beautiful pink, or not a pink, this is is she pink? No, this is a lime green background, but it's a dragonfly, and she's doing a headstand. And all my dragonflies in the oracle are adorned with Swarovski crystals, and so they're very shiny, and she's doing a headstand on an echinacea flower. So it's that's where the pink petals come in. So this is talking about having that perfect balance. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor for sure. And we have Scorpio energy coming in. So this is sitting on this new journey, and it's about elevate. Are you going to elevate, or are you going to be conquered? That's the kind of energy. And you've clearly like stayed on your destined path, and you're being rewarded now with this good energy coming in, all these opportunities. We have degradation. So this is talking about the tactics used to take you down in this energy. Whatever these people did or wanted for you, or, you know, pushed their energy to have you go through this degradation, that's what they're now going to go through at a way worse level. And there's energy of, also we have mother's worry. So this is like, you know, a mother's worry is very detrimental to all of us. Like when a mother worries, I mean, if a mother can't see a brilliant future for a child, who's going to? But I feel like this is more talking about people's worry and concern about what's happening on planet Earth right now. A lot of people call it, you know, Mother Earth. And I feel like it maybe these people were afraid they were going to be in this position, so they wanted to take these opportunities that were destined for you, and they figured that they could do so. Now, what's going to end up happening is their worst worries are going to come true, because whatever they wished for you is now going to happen to them in a much higher level, and you're off, you know, on your new love life. And so this is this is talking about you used your insight. So this is talking about getting that balance, that all important balance before you took action. And so the actions you took got you out of this situation. And this, I feel like this energy of the king, I do believe it's the King of Wands that comes into your life, and help, like when he comes into your life, he has friends in high places, the Emperor. So he's like, you know, can you clean up this mess? And so you are, it comes out, the truth comes out, what really happened, and you're in a much better position now. So that's a good story, and I really like it. This was, you know, but like this is the kind of, like, the truth always does come out. And so this is talking about that happening. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a like and comment, and I will be back with another. I'm doing about 3 of these today before I start doing some other readings. So keep an eye out for the next couple. And also consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. I would be honored if you did so. Bye for now.